Jacquie Johnson. I'm a Johnson, but I wouldn't mind being part of the clan. So that could be managed, and my McAllister connection might allow me to wear some kind of a tartan at some point. It is really just wonderful and exciting to see all of the people who are gathered here this morning. I love having people on campus, and one of the reasons that I love it is that it brings a whole new set of bumper stickers to the parking lot. As I made my way in this morning, I had a really good time checking them out. And my favorite one, and it might be that it does belong to somebody who's a member of this campus, but my favorite one this morning is the one that says, "I'd rather be at an Eric Clapton concert." But it really is just a great pleasure to have you all here, and it's really my privilege and honor to serve as Chancellor of this institution, which I think is really just an incredible one. As I often say, it's all I can do to keep up with the people who really are the leaders at this place. So it's a really cool place. And I have to ask in that mode, is there anyone who is on our campus for the first time? Anyone who's the first timer here? Aha. Well, good. We're glad that you're here, and we think that once you find out a little bit more about this place, that you will surely return. But there are just a couple of things that I need to tell you. I wish the sun were shining. One of our students who's helping came running up to me this morning as I was coming from the parking lot and said, "I know that you're going to be joining us for the welcome, and is there anything that you need?" I was really shocked. "Thank you. You're wonderful students here." "Yes," I said, "there's one thing that I need to make the sun shine." She said she would work on it, so we'll see how that goes. But you are on a campus that is part of a National Historic District, listed on the National Historic Registry, and I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. And if the weather does cooperate and you're able to walk around campus a little bit, you might take a moment to notice the plaques that are on the historic buildings. The buildings themselves are designed by Clarence Johnston, who is a famous Minnesota architect, and the plaques have just been added to the buildings about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and they denote the building's original purpose, name, and the date of their construction. So this is not one of the historic buildings, but all around the mall, you'll see the old buildings, and you'll see their original function. And I think many of you were coming in and out of the Welcome Center yesterday, those of you who are staying in the apartments, and that is a building that has just been completed. The renovation has just been completed, and it actually represents in interesting ways the three educational iterations that characterize this campus. We were first an American Indian boarding school, founded by Sisters of Mercy in 1887, and there's one building that remains from that era, but in the renovated Welcome Center, there are actually bricks on the north end of the building from the blacksmith shop that was part of the American Indian boarding school. That end of the building was originally the blacksmith shop then for the West Central School of Agriculture, and this campus is probably the last intact example of an agricultural boarding school in the United States, and so we're very proud of that. The American Indian boarding school has its own interesting legacy and history. It weaves its way into the present in the form of an American Indian tuition waiver. 12% of the students at the University of Minnesota Morris are American Indian students. 20% of the students here are students of color. I always have to mention that's a slightly higher percentage even than students of color on the Twin Cities campus. And I think that's especially interesting because we're not urban, we're rural. And it really does speak to the importance of access and the quality of the education that we provide here, not that the University of Minnesota Twin Cities doesn't. But we are one of about 2 dozen, but nobody does it like the way that we do it. We are one of about 2 dozen public liberal arts colleges in the country, and we are the only public liberal arts college in the state of Minnesota. And so we offer the same kind of quality, residential, undergraduate-focused experience that our private counterparts do, except that access is really part of our history and part of our legacy, as is agriculture, as found in the linkage to the West Central School of Agriculture. The plaques on the buildings are provided by the West Central School of Agriculture Alumni Association, and that agricultural school is celebrating the 100th year of its founding as